Okay, my name is Geoff Lindsay. I'm a chef in a restaurant here in Elwood called Dandelion. We feature a contemporary Vietnamese menu. Inspiration for the recipe comes from Vietnam. It comes from the hill tribes in the north of Vietnam in Sapa. In that particular region there is a community called the Hmong people. Now they do a lot of things with rare meat. Not often seen in other parts of Vietnam. So the basis of the dish is like a steak tartare, which is raw minced beef, but then it also has this smoked eggplant put through it as well. It's all of the ingredients that are in this particular dish I have seen in the markets of Sapa in the north of Vietnam. In this particular case, we were looking for something that had a little bit of cultural integrity. They wouldn't be using fillet steak or sirloin steak in the north of Vietnam. They would be using secondary cuts. So I wanted to find something that was much fuller flavoured, much more earthy, and had a lot more character to it. The oyster blade is something we've decided to use in this particular one. The cuts that are doing a little bit more work in the body of the animal are usually the ones that have a little bit more flavour, and are usually the ones for chefs that are a little bit more interesting to work with. Okay, the first element of my Hmong style steak tartare is going to be the dressing that we make, which is going to season the oyster blade and the eggplant. So it's made with this Vietnamese style fish sauce. It says Nuoc Mam Ni. Very, very important that you look for that when you're trying to buy your fish sauce. The dressing starts off with just a light sugar syrup first, and then start to add our fish sauce. After that, we add some chilies, some lemon segments, and some lemon juice to balance out the sourness. These are the longer, not so spicy chilies. So this should be a balance of four things: the sweet, the sour, the salty, and the spicy. Okay, so the key elements of the tartare with the vegetable component are probably the two elements of the dish that give it the most cultural integrity as far as Hmong ingredients are concerned. We're making some beautiful smoked eggplant, which will be cooked just onto a bare flame on top of the barbecue, and we're making some artichoke chips. We're going to make some eggplant, smoked eggplant first. Just put little holes in the skin of the eggplant to allow it to steam and to allow the smoke to penetrate to it, and then we're just going to put this onto the open stove, onto the gas jets for it to smoke. What we need to do with the artichoke, just trim the artichoke as you normally would, cleaning the outside leaves off and trimming back the stem to reveal the choke in the middle. Then what we need to do is finely slice them, and then it's deep fried for about 3 to 4 minutes at 160 degrees. Okay, now that my eggplant has been grilled for about 15 minutes, just over that low open flame, we're just going to slice them in half and open them out. You can see still how beautifully white they are on the inside, and we're just scraping the flesh out away from the skin. The next process with this is with our mortar and pestle. We're going to pound very, very gently the white of some spring onions, a couple of coriander roots, and a very small sliver of the very hot scud chilies. And then we add the eggplant to that, and we sort of stir the eggplant through. The oyster blade meat itself. Very, very important with the oyster blade is that it needs to be diced very finely by hand. It's very, very important to keep turning the meat around and cutting through the fibres of the meat all the time. One of the best ways to check at the end is just brush your knife across the meat against the board and rub it to a smooth paste like that, and you'll be able to see if there's any fibres left in it or any long, thin stretches of meat or sinew. We add to that the custardy textured smoked eggplant, some diced onion, some picked coriander, and some sliced green of spring onion. Then we place the meat on the plate with the eggplant. We put a little fence of these beautiful artichoke chips around the outside, a little bit of lemon balm to go on the top. The lemon balm will add beautiful sort of freshness to the dish. And then finally the quail yolk. And then that's used to crush with your fork through the meat, making it a little bit more unctuous in its texture, a little bit more luxurious in its flavour, and it's absolutely delicious. And that's my Hmong style steak tartare using oyster blade and the artichoke chips.